Okay, so picture this. Yeah, you're on the green lining up that crucial putt. But imagine having the insights to like really understand not just the green, but your entire game like never before.
Mm.
That's the promise of Bryson. This software that's like totally shaking up the world of golf.
Right.
And they really want to bring data to like every single aspect of the game, from your local club all the way up to the national championships.
It's really remarkable how they're going about it. It's not just about like analyzing your swing, it's about connecting all the dots across the entire golf ecosystem.
Okay.
Think of it as a network almost, with clubs and academies and even national teams all linked through this shared data language.
So it's like a social network, but for your golf data.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
I'm intrigued. Their website mentions that there are two main parts to this. Bryson, which is designed for like the bigger leagues like national bodies and universities. And then there's TCM Golf, which is for local clubs and academies.
Precisely. And here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine a young golfer maybe just starting out but showing real talent.
Okay.
With TCM Golf, their local club can capture all of their data, their progress, their strengths, their weaknesses. And if they really shine, that data can flow right up to the national team using Bryson. It's like having a talent scout, but powered by algorithms.
That's incredible. Okay, so we've got this network, but what is Bryson actually doing with all this data? Their website mentions like a ton of features.
Well, let's take the World Amateur Golf Ranking, or WAGRA for short. Bryson directly connects to it. So imagine you're a young golfer. Every tournament, every shot, how it impacts your ranking. It's all right there, trackable, understandable.
Yeah, that's a game changer for like aspiring pros, right? Seeing how they're progressing in real time, that's huge.
Yeah.
But what about those of us who aren't trying to go pro? What's in it for like the average golfer?
One of the really cool things is that Bryson provides these personalized training plans.
Yeah.
It's not just about, hitting the driving range more. It's about understanding your swing, your strengths and weaknesses, and then getting a plan that's tailored just for you.
That's got to be way more effective than just like trying random tips from YouTube.
Absolutely.
But with all this data, it could feel kind of overwhelming. It's actually easy to use.
That's a great question. And one of the most common things we hear is that Bryson actually simplifies things for people.
Oh.
Coaches can manage their schedules, they can track attendance, they can even handle payments all in one place.
Wow.
It's less admin time, more time actually coaching.
Okay, so they've really thought of everything. But we all know sometimes software promises the world and then it just doesn't deliver. What are people actually saying about Bryson?
Well, their testimonials are actually pretty compelling. We've got everyone from PGA teaching professionals to national team coaches, and they're raving about it.
Really?
And the cool part is they're not just talking about the tech itself, they're talking about the impact it's having.
Give me an example. What kind of impact are we talking?
Well, we have Thomas Gracie. He's a senior PGA teaching professional over at the Abu Dhabi Golf Club.
And he talks about how Bryson completely changed their coaching game. Like before Bryson, they were juggling all these different systems. They were losing track of data, just wasting so much time.
Yeah.
And now it's streamlined, it's data-driven, and they can actually focus on what matters, improving their golfer's game.
And that resonates with what we hear from Mark Day, who's a former England golf coach. And he talks about how Bryson allows him to ditch these like one-size-fits-all training programs and actually create personalized plans for each player.
Wow.
And that personalized touch, that's where you see real progress.
It's like having a digital assistant who knows your golf swing better than you do. Speaking of LPGA Tour player, Caitlin Papp mentioned how Bryson improved her self-analysis. Imagine that, having that level of insight into your own game.
It's not just about like providing data, it's about really empowering players at all levels. Think about like a parent with a child who's super passionate about golf.
Yeah.
Bryson allows them to actually see their child's progress, understand their strengths, and they can even have more meaningful conversations with their coaches.
So it brings like a transparency and an engagement, not just for the player, but for like their whole support system too.
Exactly.
It's like building a community around this data-driven improvement.
And that community extends to coaches as well. Harry Scott, who coaches the Czech national team, he talks about how Bryson makes it so much easier to track his players' progress, even when they're scattered across the globe.
Oh, it's like a virtual training camp.
Exactly.
Keeping everyone connected and on track.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Bryson's impact goes like way beyond just individuals or teams. What about its use on a larger scale?
Yeah, that's a great point. And Petra Verda, the sports manager for the Czech Golf Federation, he highlights this perfectly. He says Bryson allows them to collect and analyze data from all levels of their golf program. So from local clubs all the way up to the national team.
Okay, so what does that actually look like in practice? What's the advantage of having that kind of interconnected data system?
Imagine being able to identify promising young golfers based purely on their performance data.
Okay.
Even if they're playing at, a small club in a remote area.
Wow.
Bryson makes that kind of talent scouting possible.
That's amazing. It's like they're democratizing access to this high-level training and development through data. But let's talk about like the brains behind this whole operation. Who are the people who actually made Bryson a reality?
Well, you know what they say, behind every successful tech company, there's a good origin story.
Right.
And Bryson's journey actually began back in 2017.
Yeah.
When Tomáš Vrbický, who's an entrepreneur with a passion for golf, he crossed paths with Jiří Novosad, who at the time was managing a top golf course in the Czech Republic.
So a chance meeting that sparked a revolution in golf training.
Exactly.
Classic. What were their backgrounds? Were they like tech wizards from the start?
Well, Tomáš already had some experience in the golf industry.
Okay.
He had the CRM project called Golf4S, so he really understood the challenges that golf courses were facing.
Yeah.
And he saw an opportunity to use technology to improve things. Jiří, on the other hand, he brought his on-the-ground experience and his knowledge of the game itself.
It was like the perfect pairing.
It was a match made in heaven.
Of passion and expertise.
Absolutely.
So they had the vision, but it wasn't like an overnight success, was it?
Yeah.
Their website mentions that it took a few years to really get Bryson off the ground.
Yeah, they didn't rush the process. They spent 3 years from 2017 to 2020 developing and refining their idea before they actually officially launched TCM Golf.
And that kind of dedication is probably why they've been so successful.
Oh, absolutely.
They took the time to get it right. But they didn't just like sit on their laurels after launching, did they?
No, not at all. They were constantly iterating, expanding their reach, seeking out collaborations with influential figures in the golf world. In fact, in 2021, they actually joined forces with Jarmo Alapirti, who's a leading expert in golf performance data.
So that's a smart move.
Oh, yeah.
Aligning yourself with someone who really understands the power of data in golf.
Absolutely. It's all about strategic partnerships.
Yeah. It's like they were building a dream team of golf and tech experts.
Well, but it sounds like their path wasn't always straightforward. They mentioned a bit of a detour in 2022 when they decided to create a booking system for golf resorts.
It was definitely a gamble, venturing into a crowded market like that.
Right.
But it forced them to adapt,
Hey.
streamline their management, and really strengthen their development processes.
And those growing pains probably helped them in the long run.
Oh, for sure. They came out stronger and ready to tackle even bigger challenges.
So what happened after their foray into the world of booking systems? Did they go back to focusing solely on Bryson?
They did. They emerged with this valuable experience and a renewed focus on their core mission.
Okay.
In fact, they attended the WGC tournament in Paris in 2022.
Okay.
And that's where they had this really pivotal meeting with Samir Sani, the founder of UpGame.
A name that rings a bell. They're making waves in the world of college golf recruiting.
Exactly.
Right.
And that meeting sparked all these discussions about a potential collaboration.
Wow.
And you can just see how these strategic partnerships can have a massive impact on Bryson's growth and influence.
It's like they're strategically weaving themselves into the fabric of the global golf community.
And speaking of global, they mentioned expanding into Austria and Finland. Both countries with really strong golf programs. It sounds like they're very deliberate about their growth strategy.
Absolutely. It's not about being everywhere at once. It's about establishing a really strong presence in key markets and then building those lasting relationships with the right partners.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
I like it. They also mentioned something about the WGC tournament in Abu Dhabi being a game changer for them.
Right.
What happened there? Well, they had the chance to really connect with some of the heavy hitters in the golf world.
Right.
USGA, Golf Canada, you name it.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Sounds like a networking dream come true.
It really was. And it wasn't just about, handing out business cards or anything like that. They were really planting seeds for collaborations that could actually shape the future of golf training.
And they're not just thinking about the present either, right?
Oh,
They've got their eyes on the future. They even mentioned bidding on a new information system for the Czech Golf Federation.
That's right. Talk about aiming high.
Exactly. It's ambitious.
Very ambitious.
But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the people, right? How is Bryson actually impacting the lives of the coaches, the players, everyone in between?
Well, that's what makes this whole story so compelling. Remember Thomas Gracie from the Abu Dhabi Golf Club?
Yeah.
He wasn't exaggerating about the transformation that happened.
Right.
Bryson took them from this chaotic mess of spreadsheets and whiteboards to this streamlined, data-driven system.
I bet their coaching sessions are just so much more productive now.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's not just about efficiency either.
Right.
It's about using that time to make a real difference in those golfers' games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mark Day, the former England golf coach, he talked about how Bryson allows him to create those truly personalized training plans for all his players.
Mm-hmm.
So he's no longer guessing, he's actually using data to understand their unique strengths and weaknesses.
Precisely.
It's like having a customized playbook
Yes.
for each player. And it sounds like the players themselves are really feeling the benefits too.
Yeah.
We heard from LPGA Tour player Caitlin Papp, who credits Bryson with giving her this whole new level of self-awareness when it comes to her game.
And think about it. How often do we really get to see ourselves through that kind of detailed, objective lens?
Yeah.
That's powerful stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's not just limited to these professional athletes either,
Yeah,
right?
not at all.
Imagine being a parent who can now track their child's progress, understand their game better, and then have these more informed conversations with their coach.
Absolutely.
Bryson is bridging that gap.
It is. It's very much about communication and connection.
It is.
Yeah.
And for coaches like Harry Scott, who manages the Czech national team,
Mm-hmm.
Bryson provides a way to stay connected with those players who might be all over the globe.
Right.
He can monitor their progress, he can adjust the training plans, and just keep everyone on the same page no matter where they are.
It's like having a virtual training ground.
It is.
Yeah.
But the impact goes way beyond just individual players and coaches. Peter Averda, the sports manager for the Czech Golf Federation,
Right.
he talked about how Bryson allows them to analyze data from their entire golf program.
Yeah. The whole thing.
That's incredible.
It's huge for talent development.
Right. They can spot these promising young golfers at local clubs, track their progress, and then nurture their potential as they move up the ranks.
It's amazing.
It's like Bryson is creating this more connected and data-driven ecosystem within the entire world of golf.
And it all started with two guys.
It did.
A shared passion for the game, and then this belief that technology could come in and really unlock its full potential.
What a story. Their story is really a testament to what's possible when you combine innovation and passion.
Absolutely.
Bryson is more than just a software company.
It's true.
They're a beacon of progress in the world of sports.
I think that's a great way to put it.
It makes you wonder, are we witnessing the future of sports training? Could this level of personalized, data-driven insight become the norm, not just in golf, but in every sport imaginable?
It's a great question, and it's one that we'll probably be asking ourselves for years to come.
Right.
But I think one thing's for sure. Bryson is definitely leading the charge, and their journey is an inspiration to anyone out there who really believes in the power of technology to transform the world around us.
Absolutely. So the next time you're watching a golf tournament, or maybe even just hitting the driving range yourself, remember the name Bryson.
Bryson.
They're not just changing the game, they're changing the way we understand it.
And who knows, maybe their story will inspire you to get out there and take a swing at your own dreams,
I love it.
no matter how ambitious they might seem.
On that note, I think we've reached the end of another deep dive.
A deep dive indeed.
This has been fascinating.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me.
It's been a pleasure as always.